Boys and girls, it's unusually cold where I live today, so I'm just keeping warm by having some tea. And I have a question. Can we get away with one gun video on this channel? And if yes, I have something interesting to show you. This is called Kimber K6XS. And this little thing is quite amazing. So the way things are done around where I live, it's not gonna be like an unboxing, because all the unboxing is done for you, the unboxing and inspection. But I can still show you the box, right? This gun is showing up in a gray box like this. It says Kimber markings everywhere, some warning over here. The product can expose you to chemicals, including lead, which are known to the state of California to cause cancer. Only state of California knows that. And birth defects or other reproductive harm. For more information, go to something. And over here it says what all guns should be. Kimber, right? That's the box. You open it with some tabs, and inside, like I said, this is semi-unboxing because the box inside has some really nice graphics. It's got a guy shooting the gun, which is not the gun in the box. And then you can scan something and you can view our latest partnerships and promotions, which is why would I do that? Because a Kimber is what all guns should be, all right? So I don't know if all guns should be Kimber, but I do know one thing. Kimber holds a trophy for the smallest six round revolver, which is very unique in the gun world. They've got something that nobody else has. They're holding that niche, and it is special in its own right. So lately, Kimber has started sending their revolvers in this nice bag, which before they wouldn't do that. So I should be happy, and happy I am because of this. It's got like two little tabs. You pull them apart, and this bag opens up like so. And inside we can see some padded material, very nice padded thing. There's some kind of pocket over here, maybe for a spit strip, right? And it's just a single pocket, like just padded thing, soft padded sleeve. And that's about all I can say about this bag right here. There's more to look at inside this box. There's some warning. Firearms must be handled responsibly and securely stored to prevent access by children and other unauthorized users. By the way, if children get a hold of your firearm, you go to jail for 5 years. It's a federal law. So it's an important warning. Safety warnings and instructions and limited warning information. Okay, so this is not the gun I purchased, so I don't know if I need to. Oh, there's the gun I purchased, kind of. I guess this one. So you use that lock, which is provided, and you run it through the. I'm not even gonna unlock it. I don't think I'll ever need it. So you just send it through the revolver, the drum, the revolving part. I don't even know what that's called. And it's a placement of the cable lock. Okay. All right. Ammunition warning. Only use clean, dry, and high-quality factory-fresh ammunition of the caliber specifically designated for use in your firearm. Okay, thank you. Lead warning. Lead, again lead. Discharging firearms in poorly ventilated areas, cleaning firearms, or handling ammunition may result in exposure to lead. Is lead that bad for you? And other substances known to cause birth defects, reproductive harm, cancer, and other serious physical injury. Have adequate ventilation at all times. Wash hands thoroughly after exposure. Okay. And it has nothing to do with state of California now. It's just regular information, like don't do anything with lead, whether you're in California or not. There's something from Texas. It is unlawful to store, transport, or abandon an unsecured firearm in a place where children are likely to be and can obtain access to the firearm. That's a message from Texas. Do you want to read a message from Wisconsin? If you leave a loaded firearm within the reach of an easy access of a child, you may be fined or imprisoned, or both, if the child improperly discharges, possesses, or exhibits the firearm. Yeah, I mean, don't let children. There's one from New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Massachusetts, Maryland, Florida, Connecticut, Maine, California. You know, children cannot be in possession of your firearm or you will be in trouble. Right, so some warnings about different pistols, but like Evo SP, KDS 9C, revolver warnings. Okay, this is interesting. Revolvers forcefully eject hot gases, powder grains, lead, and or metal particles and lubricant out the barrel cylinder gap. During shooting, never shoot the revolver with your thumb or any other body part near or in the path of the barrel cylinder gap to prevent serious personal injury from hot gases, powder grains, lead and or metal particles, and lubricant escaping at high velocity. So what are they talking about? Where is it? Come here. Over here we have a barrel, and over here we have a cylinder. And in between barrel and the cylinder, there's a barrel cylinder gap. I don't know if you can even see that. With some proper lighting, you might. The gap is like non-existent in this firearm somehow. It's like it's so tightly tolerated here. But I don't even see the gap. It doesn't mean it's not there. Maybe it's like super minuscule. But anyway, the hot gases may escape, and some people claim it can even leave you with an injury, definitely on some on fingers, you know, your eyes, like don't be looking in there as you're shooting, definitely. But yeah, like it's better if nothing is within that area right here as you're shooting. And that's why, you know, revolvers, you have to be mindful of your grip, you know. Like if sometimes people put like for a semi-auto gun fingers like this, for revolver they recommend to cross over this finger like so. That way it's not going all the way forward where it might interfere with that gap. And you know, it's sometimes there's that hammer over here that can be actuated. Of course, in this instance, it's a double action only revolver. So you want to be mindful of that gap over there, right? What else? Make sure, and then it just gives you the, you know, the regular things, like make sure the shooters and bystanders are behind the shooter. All other shooters and bystanders are behind the shooter and well away from the barrel cylinder gap. Again, about the cylinder gap. Okay, rifle warnings. I don't have a rifle here. Okay, Youth Handgun Safety Act. Okay, so we have to be mindful about youth. Like I said, again, it's gonna talk about the children, you know, cannot have access to this handgun. Okay, interesting thing. So this gun from the factory comes with Hogue monogrip. And in part, that's why I chose this gun. It is so comfortable, unbelievable. And this is instructions on this grip. And it's gonna tell you how you can take it off. And for this, you need the bantam tool. Do you see that? Which is this thing. I was seeing this online, but I don't know. That's what you need to take this grip off. How do you even do this? Do you just stick this thing in there and it starts coming apart? No, I have to read the instructions. What does it say? Okay, there is a stock pin. Do you see the pin? Right, so before starting to work, what is this wording? This gun is made in USA and the instructions are like Chinese. Before starting to work, make sure the firearm is unloaded. Before starting to work, what do you think of that wording? Did they outsource some of this printing? Oh, that's Hogue. Hogue might be not made in America. What do you think? I don't know. But that's a particular wording. Before starting to work, make sure the firearm is unloaded. Remove existing grips. Okay? Right. Place plastic caps included over the stock pin. Place plastic caps included over the stock pin in the frame. The caps are critical for precision fitment. Okay? Start the stock pin into the internal guide grooves. Then with a radial motion, begin sliding the grip onto the frame. And you have the internal cutaway view of how it would look. Continue sliding the grip onto the frame fully until the stock pin snaps into the corresponding internal locking holes. The grip is now in place and will not come off with normal use. Because of the existing fit, the leading edges will potentially catch as the grip is moved up the frame. If necessary, cut a piece of the plastic clamshell packaging or other suitable pick tool to use as a thin tool to unlock the lead edges of the rubber. Lead or lead, spelled the same. Lead edges. Okay, I'm so confused. It is unnecessary to remove your Hogue Rubber K6X grip for routine cleaning. If you need to take it off, spread the bottom of the grip with the included Hogue bantam tool. Fully insert it into the bottom of the frame and slide the grip off while the tool is engaged. Do you want to try to do this? Taking off this thing? How does it work? I don't even understand it. I don't understand, but it doesn't mean it's not gonna work just because I don't understand something, right? Might still work. So it's starting to go in there, I guess. I'm cutting off pieces of rubber as well, which is something I would think I don't want to do. So the bantam tool, it's kind of hard to push, but I got it started, I guess. Will it start coming off? No. By the way, I love this, the way it shows up. You know, that's the bottom of the grip, and this is the Hogue grip right here. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing with this bantam tool. Okay, it was really difficult, but I was able to push this bantam tool all the way in, and then it says it should start pulling off with a radial motion. And it sits so, I mean, you can see that the Bantam tool widened the whole thing over here. So if there was some pins holding it, they wouldn't be holding it right now, which should allow this to come off. So I'm gonna try to muscle it out if I can. All right, so it's kind of hard, but you know, just pull it and it kind of comes out. And these are the plastic pins that are holding this in place, right? So that's what inside of the this thing looks like. And then to put it back in, right, you just align these pins and kind of with a radial motion, as they mentioned, you just slide it back in like so, you know, keep sliding it until it's, I guess it's in. It snaps in and that's it. So you can't really pull it out. It's really hard. And like basically you just have to push the Bantam pin like closer to the edge over here. It's not easy to do, right? But you just muscle it in, just little by little. Try not to like do anything that will hurt the gun or the grip. Just make sure that this kind of goes in on either side in between the grip and the rubber. I'm out of breath because it really took some effort to do this. Yeah. But yeah, it's doable. You can do it all. Okay, so let's talk about the gun itself, right? So if you want to finish with the box, it's got a Kimber sticker. So that's about it. Let's get out of the box. Good box, everything you need. Very happy to have that. Who is really gonna be using the bag? I don't know, but it's nice to have. And there's actually a pocket in the back where you may, I guess if you have a documentation specifically for this gun, you may save it in there. I don't know. Let's get rid of the box. All right, so we were able to take off the grip and put it back together. What do we have here? So this is the aluminum frame gun K6XS. So about 6 or 7 years ago, Kimber introduced the K6S. It was like sort of a revolution in the revolver world. It was 23, almost 23 ounce, but it was a steel frame. So this one is almost 16 ounce, 15.9 ounce, but it's an aluminum frame. And now it cannot shoot 357 Magnum. It can only shoot 38 Special plus P, right? So, and if you follow this Revolver aficionado channel, which I do on YouTube, according to him, 38 Special is the best defensive cartridge ever, right? And again, that doesn't mean it's most powerful, doesn't mean it's got the biggest pressure, doesn't mean it's got the best whatever, but it's the best cartridge for self-defense. And he goes into his reasoning, and sometimes it's hard to disagree with whatever he's saying, because he makes a lot of sense defending the 38 Special cartridge. And to be honest, for self-defense, it might be the best cartridge out there. You know, there are more powerful cartridges like 357 Magnum, for example. But is it the best for self-defense? Maybe not, because it does tend to over-penetrate. It does tend to be more loud, more recoil heavy, you know, more flash bang heavy. All those things that might be prohibitive in a self-defense scenario. There's a guy, which I like his stuff as well online, Yankee Marshall, and he was not using 357 Magnum for a while, because even though it's his favorite cartridge in the whole wide world, he discharged a firearm indoors And I don't know what the scenario was. Maybe it was a self-defense scenario or something, but he was bleeding from both ears and he was hurt. He was hurt by his favorite self-defense cartridge, which in his case it's 357 Magnum. And it's a powerful cartridge, it's a nice cartridge, but maybe if he had a 38, he could deal with whatever was in front of him and not bleed from both ears and not needing like hospitalization or like not being PTSD'd from using his gun in self-defense. You know, what are the advantages of 38 Special? And this one can be 38 Special or 38 Special plus P. It's less powerful, but at the same time, it's adequately powerful. It's not the least powerful cartridge out there. There's stuff way, weaker, let's say. It's a proven cartridge. It's been in service for the longest time with United States Police. For longest time. And, you know, to a certain degree, it's coming back, you know, because we had this thing where we realized, you know, semi-automatic pistols are now the future, you know, and future is now. So people started turning away from revolvers because it's an outdated design by some opinions, which I disagree with. It's an outdated design, and, you know, something like this Beretta, you know, could be 9mm. All my guns are unloaded, so if you guys are worried about that, don't be. There is no ammunition on this table or in these guns. So let's say this is a really nice 9mm Beretta. It's been in service with some military and servicemen around the world. And it's holding like 17 rounds in the magazine, right? And one in the chamber. So people who are good at math, the math whiz out there, pulled out their calculators and they quickly figured out that 6 rounds is a lot less than, let's say, 17 plus 1. And you better have 17 plus 1 instead of 6, right? And quickly, the revolvers started being replaced and pushed out. And for a second, it seemed like revolvers were beginning to get obsolete. However, there is a resurgence of revolvers in our modern world. People are waking up to the idea that revolvers are actually really good for self-defense. First of all, their shape, their size, and their cartridges are really kind of suited for this purpose. And also, these are not your grandfather's revolvers. These are new revolvers with new materials. We call these modern revolvers. And they are great. So right now there is a resurgence in popularity of the revolver. And people are buying more and more revolvers. And that can only mean that they might be buying a little less semi-auto guns. There's still more semi-auto guns than revolvers out there, but a lot of times for self-defense, for carry, for something that might be on you, something that you may rely on daily, might be a gun like this rather than something like this. Even though this holds less rounds, this holds more. When we look at the FBI statistics, most of the interactions or whatever you call it, the incidents involving gun self-defense, they finish in 1 to 3 rounds in within 3 to 7 yards distance, right? So it could be like the distance where you can touch the person up to 7 yards. And you better not use it if it's over 7 yards unless somebody is actively shooting at you, because then it's very questionable whether you need it to use a gun in self-defense, and then the law might be onto you and they might be looking at you as an aggressor rather than a victim. So the resurgence of revolvers. And once again, I want to point out, this is not your grandfather's revolver. This is a new time, and this is a new gun. This gun is so new. It was just introduced 2 years ago, but it was beginning to be widely available about a year ago. And what do we have here besides the 6-round cylinder? One thing you should understand, it's not just the 6-round cylinder, it's the smallest 6-round cylinder in the .38 special caliber on the planet. Now, I just want to show you guys something really quick, and it's gonna be the speed loader. This is a speed loader, and once again, I said I don't have any rounds on the table. Now I do. This is a speed loader for Kimber K6XS, and this is a speed loader for another really nice, great modern revolver, which is Smith&Wesson Model 327. Look how much bigger the speed loader for 327, which is the gun on the left, versus the smallest 6-round revolver in the world, Kimber K6S. It's much smaller. You are giving up 2 rounds of ammunition, but you're not just giving it up, you're trading something for it. You're trading a more manageable size, something that will fit on or around you more comfortably, right? So if you are okay with the fact that you're gonna have only 6 rounds, there is something to say about having a smaller gun because it's more comfortable in your daily tasks, right? So the widest part of a revolver is this cylinder right here. That's the widest part. And it might work for you, it might not. A lot of people are finding that a cylinder and a revolver shape is much better suited for everyday carry. It kind of disappears on you, you know. It's very easy to have it on you to conceal. But even though this is a 2-inch snub nose and frame 8-shot revolver, it's kind of made for an EDC. To a certain degree, this is the EDC king. And it's very hard to replace it or outdo this formula right here. This is a 23.2 ounce gun, very light because it's made from aluminum zirconia, no, aluminum, yeah, aluminum zinc, whatever. Anyway, so this is aluminum alloy frame, right? I forgot what's the other element called. It's got titanium cylinder and barrel shroud. It's got a steel barrel because, I mean, we still need steel. Steel is the kind of metal that you cannot really replace it in like things like a barrel. You know, when you need a nice barrel, and it's a threaded barrel. By the way, is this threaded? It is threaded. Huh. Kimber K6S has a threaded barrel. Can you believe that? I couldn't even find this information online when I was researching this. I was kind of getting ready to accept the fact that it wouldn't be threaded, but it is threaded and recessed. So when you talk about the king of carry revolvers, the 8-shot you know, everything is great about this gun, right? And it shoots 357 Magnum, very powerful cartridge. You can have it for a bear defense if you load it properly. And if you shot a Magnum cartridge out of this gun, you can be absolutely sure that it will destroy anything that's in front of it. You cannot be underpowered with this gun. However, it's not the smallest thing out there. And even though you have 8 rounds of 357 Magnum, maybe, just maybe, it would be more comfortable to have something even lighter, even smaller, and in 38 Special plus P on you, and your life might be infinitely better because it's just easier to handle. And when it gets down to it, depending on your situation, you might end up with a better cartridge for self-defense, because 38 Special might be the best cartridge for self-defense, right? So today, as soon as I received this pistol, I took it to the range and I did some shooting, and it is just absolutely a magnificent shooter. So I bought this gun from my local LGS, and they are the official partner with Kimber, official Kimber store, supplier, whatever. And I said, listen, I went online and some people say it's a really good gun, the best thing ever, and some say it's a really crappy gun, the worst thing ever, and I don't know what I'm gonna get, but will you take care of me if, God forbid, something goes wrong? And they said, absolutely, and I believe them. It's not the first purchase I make from them. They're good people. And so they assured me that if, God forbid, something doesn't go as planned, they'll take care of me. So I had that peace of mind when I went to get this gun. And the first thing you want to do is what I did. I took it to the gun range, and oh my God, what a great shooter this gun is. I'll see if I can pull up some stills of me shooting the groups. The groups at 7 yards were like this, which for me, it's really good. I had some really nice hits at like 15 yards, even though not as consistent, but like really nice. And it's my first time doing this, right? And then one thing I want to talk about this is it's a 38 Special and shooting out of 16 ounce frame, right? So what does it feel like? So this gun can shoot both 357 Magnum or 38 Special. So 38 Special with a 23 ounce gun, it's like nothing. Like you barely feel it. It's so comfortable. You can do it all day long, right? So, and then you put 357 Magnum in there, and it's nice. Like with these grips, it's Pachmayr Diamond Pro, right? It's a monogrip with the you have a screw in there, but it's a wraparound monogrip. It is very comfortable for this gun. It's the best grip for this gun that I found, and it will absorb your magnums really nice, but you will feel that recoil from 23.2 ounce that this frame is. But then once you shoot some magnums out of here, you don't even want to go to 38, because 38 is kind of weak. It's kind of like underwhelming. You don't feel anything. It's not emotional anymore. It's like you just want to shoot magnums out of this. But magnums are powerful. They kind of like, you feel them. And that's what's kind of nice. It will eat magnums all day long, this gun, right? So when it comes to this one, recoil is not as light as with 38s out of here, but also it's not as stout as with magnums out of here. So it's kind of in between. It's very nice, kind of golden zone, like middle ground. It's not too light and it's not too stout. It's kind of comfortably stout, you know, the recoil. Something that you can do all day, every day, but also like feel it, you know. Not like the 38, which you don't really feel it. Like it's not like you're not feeling like you're doing something, right? You need magnums to really kind of enjoy yourself at the range with this one. But with this thing, you do feel these 38s, but at the same time, they're pretty comfortable as well. So that's what I want to say. I wouldn't want to shoot magnums out of this frame. So I'm kind of glad that they are not doing the 357 Magnum. I know that Smith&Wesson has like 340 PD and 360 PD, which is like it's even lighter frame, and it will shoot the 357 Magnum, but people report that it's gonna destroy your wrist. It's really hard to do. I think most people just buy that gun if they want to shoot 38s or plus P, but just have that luxury to know in their mind that they can shoot a 357 Magnum if it comes to that somehow, you know. But with this one, you cannot do magnums at all, but you can do 38 special and 38 special plus P. Now, the next thing is this trigger, right? This trigger is really, really nice. It's something that I knew it was going to be nice, but I just didn't. Once you try it, it's not like anything else. There is nothing, you can feel things are happening, but in the trigger, there are no hang-ups whatsoever. It's just one motion. Every time, just one motion. And I heard that you have to like release this trigger all the way, but it doesn't really go that far back all the way, so it's not a big deal to release it, right? Like over here, it goes way back. At least that's what it seems like, right? This is the Performance Center Revolver, so it's really, really nice. This trigger work is amazing. It's actually lighter than Kimber's, right? And this is amazing trigger. But so is this one, and this one is actually, even though it's maybe by a pound or two harder to press than this Performance Center from Smith&Wesson, it's very smooth, very smooth. It's much smoother than Smith&Wesson. Even though, I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about Smith&Wesson. Smith&Wesson is great, but this is smoother. And when I was shooting it, there is a product from TK Customs where you can buy a different fire pin, a different set of springs, which will make this trigger from 11 to 12 pounds, which is it right now, to about 9 pounds. So it's going to be lighter, right? But at the same time, it's going to be as reliable, and you get a new firing pin, which some of these guns are known to suffer from a brittle fire pin, and then you lose your fire pin, you cannot shoot this gun, right? So you can get that fire pin and that whole thing from TK Customs, but I wouldn't want this trigger to be any lighter, to be honest with you. I felt very comfortable. And another thing, right away from my first trip to the range with this gun, I'm more accurate with this gun than with any of my other handguns or any handguns that I ever shot. I was so impressed with this gun, and it shoots straight on. Like you just line this thing like so, and I want to try to show you this front thing, which is not a big deal. I mean, it's nothing. It's not adjustable, right? But it shoots so straight, so true. You just align that thing like so, and it's gonna shoot right there where you aim. And the trick is, you just do everything as you were as how you were trained. You know, you just press this thing, don't jerk it, just give it time, and it will shoot true and straight. I'm so much better with this just from my first trip to the range, and I know I can get even better than with this that I've shot a lot. And this one is very accurate gun. So is this. This one is very nice, very accurate gun. And in fact, if I have somebody who doesn't know how to shoot, never shot a gun, for example, I give them this, right, at the range, and they start shooting and they start feeling good because they're shooting where they're aiming, and they're getting good results and they feel good about themselves, right? So this is a really good gun for like somebody who's new, but also, for somebody who's not new, if it's a good gun, it's a good gun. But I just want to tell you that right away, I was better with this little thing than with any of those other guns. And I was a little worried whether I am going to be good with this, because it was kind of like an emotional like it was like like that song says, wise men say only fools rush in. I came in specifically to purchase K6S DC. That's like the stainless the stainless version, that's the same weight as this one, 23 ounce in the small package with the boot grip, blacked out completely. And I held that one in my hand and I just hated it. And I said, can I try the K6XS? Can I try to hold this one? And I held it and I was in love immediately. Partially because of this grip, whole grip. But another part of it is this weight. It's just righteous, the way it feels in a hand. And my hands are a little larger than most, I think. That's why I wanted this big gun, and I thought I would be uncomfortable with the smaller gun. And I was really uncomfortable with the regular K6S DC. The MSRP on K6S DC is about $1,248. Almost $1,300, really expensive. This one is much cheaper, but when I held this one, it felt right at home. Oh my God, it felt so good. And I'm like, I fell in love. It's like, love at first glance. This is what I experienced with this gun. It was love at first touch. And when I took it to the range, I was really worried because, like, what if I was just, emotional at that time. I wasn't even planning to buy this gun, but that's the decision I made. And today when I came to the range, I was really worried, like, what if it's not a good shooter? It's too light, it's 38 special, it doesn't even shoot magnums. I was gonna buy a different gun. And this gun did not disappoint at all. I'm the best shooter with this gun than with any other guns that I owned or shot. And that was a surprise for me. So another thing with this gun, it's now made in Troy, Alabama, USA. Some people reported like poor production. There's things that are out of spec. Like, for example, can you see this over here, the way the plate, can you see all those lines? They're not too bad, but you can see that for a performance center, you can barely make out that there's a line. You have to kind of like spend your time looking. And I took it apart so many times. Before I took it apart, you could not even see it with your naked eye. I took this apart so many times, and you can kind of make out the line. The tolerances are so tight on this Smith&Wesson Performance Center, this aluminum frame. But this aluminum frame, the tolerances are not so tight, and that's what people reported, that they sent something to Kimber like, oh, is this out of spec? And Kimber confirmed, yes, it is. It's not supposed to be like this. I'm giving it a pass, but I can tell that it's not super high tolerances over here, you know. Now the design of the gun is kind of with high tolerances in mind, like you can tell, because there's literally no gap between the barrel and the cylinder. I'm not even sure if that's the way it should be. Let's try to see if we can shed some light on here. Can we even see that gap? It might be, yeah, there is a little gap. I can see it. A little bit, I can see it. Yeah, there is a gap. There's definitely a gap. Okay, but it's, once again, the tolerances are really tight. And on this side, it goes all the way to the frame. Because there's this cutout where the rounds, they sit inside. They're very flush when it's closed. You cannot see much, right? Now, for the next 30 minutes, we're just gonna cowboy close it. I'm gonna spin this really fast and then close it with a, no, I'm not gonna do that. And don't ever do this. With your gun, you're gonna destroy your gun. Right, guys, so this is kind of like the first impressions and the first look of this gun. You tell me if you want to see this sort of content. I know it's questionable, some people may not enjoy this content. I'm sharing with you something that I enjoy, you know, and if you guys like this sort of stuff, you let me know. If you don't like it, you let me know, and I will do whatever you want. I'm not going to do what I want on this channel. I'll do what you want. If I can say something else before I go, the cylinder is steel. The barrel and barrel shroud is steel. The trigger is steel. The frame is aluminum, right? So I believe the crane might be steel. I don't know. This is after a trip to the range. See, it's got some dirt over there. It's kind of oily. I feel like it will clean up very nicely. This gun is good looking. It's really good looking. Just to the eye, to the naked eye. When you look at it, it looks really, really good. I don't like this fluted cylinder. I like the look of the original Kimber K6S, where it's like semi-fluted, where it's just like the sides are a little like, you know, just shaved, you know, like you have like flat shaved sides. That's the look that I liked. I don't like this look, but I'm just telling you that when I held this gun, I knew I had to have it. And when I held the K6S, the more expensive, like this MSRP is $679, right? I was trying to buy a more expensive gun, the one that's $1,248 MSRP. And when I held that one, I hated it, right? When I held this one, I was in love, right? I like everything about this gun, and today I can confirm it's a really, really good shooter. Now, another thing that I really want to touch really quickly, I honestly don't think it could be a pocket gun. It's not that small. I mean, they are trying. They're doing advancements. It's smaller than it could be, right? Especially when you do like the side comparison, right? It's getting there, but it's not there. It's not quite there, right? I'm beginning to think that if you want a pocket gun, you have to go with Smith&Wesson J-frame and 5 rounds. There's just no way around that. This is not quite a pocket gun, I don't think. It did fit in my pocket just when I was trying it, but it took up the whole freaking pocket, and it was bulging out, it was sticking out, and you know, I didn't even have the the holster for it. You know, I just put it in. So the holster will add something like this just to make it look non-gun like, you know, so it just looks like you have like a big wallet or something in there, you know. It's gonna be a bear in your pocket. It's not really a pocket gun. And you know, when I was listening to like YouTube videos of this gun, some people were like, a lot of people were saying, oh, it's like, it's Kimber's pocket gun, you know, now you can pocket this because it's like, it's aluminum, it's much lighter, it's not gonna weigh down your pocket. And then there was one guy channel, I don't even know the name anymore, but he said, I don't think it's a pocket gun. You know, it's not necessarily like a J frame, it's kind of like in between J and K frame for Smith&Wesson. And I agree with that guy. It's not necessarily a pocket gun. I mean, your pockets may be different from my pockets, but I don't think so. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. You can buy this gun thinking you're gonna pocket carry it. I think it's not gonna work. You're gonna be disappointed, and next thing for you on your shopping list is gonna be something like a Smith&Wesson 342, 642, 640, or something like that. A J-frame with a 5-round cylinder, which is even slightly tinier than this. And overall a little smaller everything. But even though J-frame, like when you just look at the pictures, J-frame is just a little bit smaller than this, but that's what you need. You need a little bit smaller than this to be able to pocket carry it. This is just not cutting it, honestly. However, that doesn't mean I don't love this gun. I love it. This would be my main gun. This would be something I would trust my life with and would be very comfortable to carry. This would be perfect for IWB, inside the waistband, or if you are one of those guys who like to have a shoulder holster, it would be great there. It's not going to take up too much space. If you're any kind of like appendix carry, or you know, the 7 o'clock, 5 o'clock, something like that, depending on what side you are, anywhere in your waistband, this would be amazing, right? Ankle, I'm not even gonna, it's not that small, guys. Honestly, it's not that small, guys and gals. It's not that small, but it is smaller than some, you know, by a lot. And when we're talking like that, it is going to be so much more comfortable. And because this gun will work for you, like you can carry it every day. You can have it on you. You can like carry it in a shoulder holster, in like IWB, everywhere. And you just replace it with this. How much more comfortable is that going to be? What do you think? That's what you should be thinking about. That you are just getting the best, the most comfortable IWB gun out there. Probably the best in the world, you know. But still, you know, if you want a pocket gun, there's nothing like some J-frame. Even though, you know, guy Hickok 45, yeah, that's the guy. He said that he started pocket carrying this and it replaced his 642 J-frame. So that's, you know, but he's a big guy. He's a big guy with huge hands. His hands are ginormous. His pockets are probably bigger than mine, you know, and his trousers are different style than my trousers, you know. So I guess I shouldn't say that it will not work for you. I'm just gonna say that it's not gonna work for me for the pocket carry, even though I already ordered a pocket holster. It's gonna be weird if I pocket carry this, and I'm probably not gonna do it. And I'm just sharing that opinion with you because you might find this interesting. Not everybody is built like Hickok 42, but it's crazy that all the guys who are really good with guns, who are you know, good shooters, they can shoot something 70, 80 yards away, like Hickok 45, he can do that. And they're not carrying something like this with 17 rounds and one in the chamber. They don't do that. Huh. Those gun buffs, those competition shooters, those guys with big channels, they carry a J-frame or something like this Kimber over here in their pockets. And that is something for you guys to think about it. All right, well, thanks for tuning in.